What's up, everybody? Damon here, and in today's gaming news, we've got the first batch of games coming to Xbox Game Pass in May. Square Enix is taking a $140 million loss on abandoned games, and Todd Howard explains why Fallout will stay in America. This is your Daily Fix. Square Enix has revised its approach to PC and console game development and absorbed approximately $141 million in what it calls content abandonment losses. In a warning to its investment community, the Japanese company said it would recognize the extraordinary loss for the fiscal year ended March 2024. This is the result of a change in approach to Square Enix's development of what it calls HD video games for PC and console as opposed to mobile and MMOs. In its note, the company said it wants to be more selective and focused in the allocation of development resources, and as a result of the close examination of its development pipeline with this in mind, is taking the multi-million-dollar loss. Square Enix did not name the canceled or rescoped games. It released a major game, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, in February, but it has yet to announce any sales figures. Some analysts have suggested the PlayStation 5 exclusive is struggling. Other games released in the current financial year include Final Fantasy XVI, Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster, and the Splatoon-style multiplayer game Foamstars, which was poorly received by critics and has hemorrhaged players since launch. Dawn Trail, the expansion for ongoing MMO Final Fantasy XIV, launches in the next financial year in late June. Square Enix also has Kingdom Hearts IV, the third game in the Final Fantasy Remake trilogy, and Dragon Quest XII in the works. There's also that Dragon Quest III HD 2D remake, but we haven't heard anything about it in 3 years. Moving on, Microsoft has announced the first wave of games coming to Game Pass in May. Highlights include Tomb Raider Definitive Edition and Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons. First up, on May 2nd is Tomb Raider Def Ed. Crystal Dynamics' action-adventure returns to Game Pass as the studio works on a brand new game in the series. Even though it's 10 years old now, it's still an amazing game, super fun to play today, highly recommended. Next up on May 7th is Kona II: Brume. This first-person narrative game is set in a rural mining village in northern Canada in 1970. Then on May 9th, Little Kitty Big City launches as a day one title straight into Game Pass. In this open world playground, you play a cat who tries to find their way back home, kind of a cutesier version of Stray. Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons returns to Game Pass on May 14th. It's a unique twin-stick adventure featuring, you guessed it, two brothers. That rounds out Wave 1 of May's Game Pass lineup, but it's worth noting that we know of at least one game coming in the second half of the month, Senua's Saga Hellblade 2. Also, Microsoft surprise launched The Rewinder into Game Pass yesterday, April 29th. It's a 2D puzzle adventure game inspired by traditional Chinese folklore. Meanwhile, Respawn's Star Wars Jedi Survivor is also now in Game Pass via EA Play, which is part of a Game Pass Ultimate subscription. And finally today, for years, Fallout fans have wondered if a video game in the franchise will ever leave the United States for another country. According to Fallout lore, the nuclear war of 2077, upon which the franchise is based, was not localized to the US, but a global event. In a new interview with Kinda Funny Games, Bethesda development boss Todd Howard ruled out such a move, confirming that the studio's plan is to keep the Fallout series set in the US. Howard explained the decision by saying he's a big fan of the Americana naivete that informs so much of Fallout's tone. Fallout is set in a retro-futuristic post-apocalypse in which players contend with the remnants of everything from evil American corporations to various factions based upon existing US entities. Fallout works as satire as much as it does an open-world playground.
I don't feel the need to answer. It's okay to leave mystery or questions. What is happening in Europe? What is happening here? I think those are good things. In Elder Scrolls, everybody wants to kind of go to these other specific lands, and I think I'm known for here saying, the worst thing you can do to mysterious land is remove the mysterious
mystery. Let me explain everything and answer every question.
Mysterious lands, mysterious, yes.
The modern Fallout games have mostly taken place along the eastern seaboard, with Washington, D.C., Boston, and West Virginia being some of the larger settings. New Vegas focused on Las Vegas and its surrounding areas, including glimpses of California, and the recent live Fallout series takes place in Los Angeles. So there's a whole lot of country left to explore, especially at the rate Bethesda releases new games. As IGN user Bloated Fish said in the comments, location. Location never changes. Of course, the high-profile but unofficial fan-made Fallout London mod will venture beyond America, although a release date remains unannounced after the recent Fallout 4 next-gen update broke key third-party mods for the game. And that is your Daily Fix for Tuesday, April 30th. Now that you're caught up on the news, watch the teaser trailer for first-person horror game Necrophosis. It's a Scorn-like. I'm Damon Hatfield, and for all your video game news, stay tuned to IGN.